doing a video here. I had this pile of parts come to me in a box. I'm putting a bunch of saws together. And I thought, you know what? Why don't I do an aftermarket parts review? Let's talk a little bit about aftermarket parts. I was talking with a guy online, and his view was that all aftermarket parts are garbage. OEM is the only way to go. And I guess I understand that in one sense, that OEM products are OEM products. I get it. But are they all garbage? I mean, are they usable parts? Is aftermarket usable parts? I was listening to AFLEETCOMMAND, I was listening to Walt talk about usable parts. And he was talking about various Husqvarna pieces parts. I think it was a couple of tanks or whatever that he was reviewing. And I thought that's a pretty good way to put it. Is this a usable part? Maybe some of these are usable parts. Maybe not. Let's have a look. So this is actually a Highway branded fuel cap. This is an OEM fuel cap. Personally, I don't see much difference. Feel darn close to the same to me, as far as I'm concerned. I don't have a problem using the aftermarket fuel caps. They look fine. Next. How about an air conductor? I've actually used these on 372s, and I've had pretty good luck with them. The plastic is slightly more brittle feeling, I think, but I'm not breaking it. So the only thing with these that I've had issue with, and it's not even with just the aftermarkets, but the tabs for the ignition coil wire here, for the spark plug wire, the tabs can break. So you do want to be careful of that. But this is a very usable part, and for less money than OEM. Not a lot less, a little bit less. What's next? These tabs. These tabs hold on top covers. Now, honestly, I haven't used these. I gotta be honest and say I've not actually used those yet. So I'm going to try them one of these days, but I have not used them yet, so I cannot really review. They look like they'll be alright, but I don't have any particular thought on that. I have a well-respected friend that says that these are just fine. So we'll see. If I have an issue with these, I'll let you guys know. How about a throttle cable? Now, why in the world would it be bad to have an aftermarket throttle cable? Plastic feels tough. That goes nice and smooth. I don't see any issue with that piece at all. I don't have any problem putting that in a saw of mine, or even a saw that I would sell to somebody else. Chinese-made muffler bracket. What could possibly be wrong with that? Looks like a usable part to me. Again, if I try these and stick it on a saw and find it doesn't fit or something, then okay, but you know what? For a few bucks, whatever this cost, nice having this around, because if you're going without one of these, and not going to be a good day on your 372. How about a choke rod? Looks fine. Plastic seems pretty hard, pretty tough. Usable part. Let's get to a part that I think isn't as usable. This is a part that I do buy, I do use, but I did have one of these break. And I'll be honest on these switches and say, you know what? If you can afford OEM, my suggestion is to go with an OEM switch, because the plastic on this feels just a little bit on the brittle side, And I would definitely suggest to HL Supply that they need to find another supplier for these. After feeling this and feeling what an OEM switch feels like, and I've used these, and I'm going to continue to use them, but if you can afford to go with an OEM switch, I think they're like $13 each, then you're probably better off going with the OEM switch. How about a handle? Could there be anything wrong with a handle? I don't think so. Usable part. Carb kits. You know, I have not had a bad carb kit from anywhere. Aftermarket, OEM, whatever. I've not had a bad carb kit. I've had bad carburetors. I've had clogged carburetors I couldn't get running. Frustrated carburetors, but not a bad kit. So I'm pretty sure that buying aftermarket kits is just fine. Whether it's Zama or Walbro, whatever. Totally fine to buy that sort of stuff as far as I'm concerned. So I'll wrap up this quick video here and just simply say, hey, you know what? If you can afford some of the OEM parts, especially the switch, I'd recommend going with the OEM switch. But a lot of these things, you know, you don't need to be spending the extra money for OEM on some of this stuff. I don't think so. Why would you do that? You really think that that's going to go bad before an OEM part goes bad? I don't think so. You really think that this throttle cable is going to go bad before an OEM part goes bad? I don't think so. So, my vote is use OEM parts where it counts. That's fine. But some of these little things, I'd say go for it. If you need to fix a saw, you got a few parts that you need. You want to keep some spares. Some of these parts are excellent to have as either spares or as a rebuild. So that's my opinion on that. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.